Hey, so welcome to Kinross Quick Guide to Aging Central Otago Pinot Noir. When aging wine, it's important to sort of think about all the key aspects to how to do it, why you're doing it, where you should do it. And I'm going to start with, well, where should you do it? Where should you put your wines? And first things that typically come to mind, well, the word cellar. Do you need to have a specific wine cellar to keep your wine in? No. What you really do need is a space that stays out of the sunlight. So a nice dark spot, could be a cupboard, could be under your bed, wherever. And so long as that place remains relatively cool, a typical cellar would be at about a 15 or 16 degrees Celsius temperature. Not crucial to maintain it at that, but so long as it doesn't get too hot, then that's the key thing there. And not too dry either, which is rarely a thing that people need to worry about as well. So long as you've got a space like that that can fit a few bottles of wine, you can start aging your Pinot Noir. Then the next decision is, well, what is it that you're going to be putting into that particular space? Well, red wines are a great place to start, and in Central Otago in New Zealand, Pinot Noir is definitely the one that we have there. So with all of the sub-regions that we have within the whole region overall, all their different microclimates, there are all sorts of things then that impact, well, which wines will age better for longer, so on and so forth. And so that's what I'm going to talk to you about next. What are you going to look for in the wines that you are potentially considering aging for a little while? First things first, I think my bit of advice would be, if you're considering aging a bottle of wine, maybe grab 2 bottles of it, drink one now, taste it, see if you like it now. That's probably the first thing. If you like it now, then there's a good chance you'll probably like it in the future. And then assess the wine as you drink it there. And there are some key components to the wine and its flavor, its structure, the whole sort of thing that it actually has as its own product that determine what works. So those things are the acidity level in the wine, tannin, alcohol level, and overall balance as well. So just quickly going over those. Acidity, it's key. It's probably the key thing about aging any type of wine. All wine has acid in it, and those with a moderate to high level of acid tend to be ones that you can rely on to be age-worthy, right? You can keep them for a number of years. And Pinot Noir, especially here in Central Otago, all ticks that box. So all have good acidity for aging. Secondly, tannin. And this is the next thing that really comes into play where, well, which wine from Central Otago are you then deciding to keep and which ones are you going to drink? Tannin gets impacted predominantly by grape skins and seeds and things like that, and also a bit by the oak, that the oak barrels that the wine is matured in. And where the biggest variations come with that tend to be the place that the grape is grown. So in Central Otago, I mentioned multiple sub-regions, lots of microclimates. The warmest sub-regions tend to grow grapes that have thicker skins, which then end up having a bit more tannin, a bit fuller structure compared to the other cooler climate regions. One of those regions, probably the warmest of the lot, is Bendigo. This bottle of wine here from Varley is from their vineyard in the Bendigo sub-region. It has more tannin, a fuller structure than most, if not all, of the other Pinot Noir that we here at least have, and most others from the region as well. That would be a great sign for it to be then aged for a little longer. Conversely, the Kinross Stormcloud Pinot Noir, it's a blend of grapes from our single vineyard here in Gippsland and also some from the Bannockburn vineyard as well. Cooler places than Bendigo, so we'll get a little bit less tannins, a bit softer, a bit easier to drink now, so maybe even a bit more appealing to drink now. Possibly then not going to be something as ideal to age for as long. So there's how tannin comes into play. And next up, alcohol. You want a nice moderate level of alcohol, and again, thankfully, Central Otago Pinot Noir tends to be between the 12 and 14% range that you want to sort of find a wine to age it for a long time with. So ticks on that one there. And then finally, balance. You want all of these aspects, acid, tannin, fruit flavors, bitter flavors, earth, all that sort of stuff to be in balance. Nothing really overpowering anything else. That's another great sign that a wine will age for a good amount of time. So, yeah, for how long? Well, typical general rule for Pinot Noir, just overall, in general, 5 to 10 years, right? That's the time frame that we're working within on an average. For something like this Bendigo Pinot Noir from the warmer region, more tannin, etc., probably closer to 10, possibly even pushing to 15 years. And that's from harvest date, by the way, so the number that's on the bottle, not from the date that you purchase it. If you buy an older wine, keep that in mind. And for one of these, closer to the 5-year time frame, if you can handle keeping it for 5 years in the first place. I can't personally. This one, when it comes home, typically gets opened. So, a key thing I think about most Pinot Noir, especially from this beautiful part of the world, is that if it's in bottle and ready for you to buy and take home, it's ready to drink as well. So there's no need to cellar any sort of wine to age it. We give recommendations, drink now or up until X date. So I hope that helps. If you're trying to start aging some wine, I hope that gives you a little bit of a starting point. And key thing is drink wine when you can and enjoy it. Thanks.